The summer 2017 anime season has come to a close, and before we jump aboard that ship sailing towards the fall anime season, it's time we look back at all the anime that I watched from this past season. I found myself watching far less weekly than in previous seasons, but all the shows that I kept up with, I thoroughly enjoyed. Now, if you don't see a show on here that you watched and enjoyed, I probably have heard of the show, but it just wasn't top priority for me, or just not my cup of tea. And there are a few series that I just don't want to write about, even though I did try them. So shoot me. But now let's get started and quickly review and recap what I watched from the summer 2017 anime season. Like I said in last season roundup, My Hero Academia is fantastic. I wasn't a huge fan of season 1, but season 2 kicks it off in a brilliant way, and the second core continuing in the strong storytelling and characterization that many enjoyed within the first half. Side characters who I could care less about had time to feel fleshed out, if only for an episode, and it feels like this isn't the same battle shonen we see every other season, or repeated in Shonen Jump 12 times over. It has the tropes that made people enjoy this style of storytelling, but it also knows how to be original and make sure you're just as interested in the side characters as you are within the main ones. A splendid season overall. This was a mixed bag for some. Some people saying the gambling wasn't complex enough or it was too fanservice-y for their liking. For me, this was an extreme ride of crazy sexual and what am I watching, and it was a fun ride overall. The gambling matches they played, betting their money or lives at times was entertaining and sometimes complex, but what makes the show work is how these matches exploit and bring out the twisted sides of all the different characters. If you have a love for crazy anime that tries to stick out from the crowd, you need to watch this anime. It was extremely fun, and that's all it needed to be. Now, this anime makes me sad. Not the content of the show, but the community around it. All I saw were people saying how bad the show looks, hardly any animation. What was Stan Lee and Studio Dean thinking? And then it clicked. These anime fans have never seen a motion comic before. The Reflection doesn't do anything crazy with its story or characters, but I felt like it stuck out from My Hero Academia that was airing within the same season, and it did its own thing with the beautiful motion comic style, really making it stay interesting every single week. This looks like a comic book brought to life. It was never trying to be animated like a traditional anime. I wish anime fans would look outside the bubble of anime and realize that there's more than one way to make a piece of animation, and not just the traditional Japanese way. Now, this isn't a bad show by any means. In fact, it's Ufutable's best work in a while, though that isn't saying much. This is a fun action show with gorgeous animation and character designs. That's it. Nothing complex, nothing amazing, but a fun watch for those who are interested. With New Game Season 1, it established a brilliant cast of characters all working at a game company. The focus was never really on the game, but rather the personal stories and struggles that the characters were dealing with. With Season 2, it takes that already established cast, puts them in more responsible roles while also introducing some new faces to the cast. This does what many Season 2s fails to do properly. Keep what we loved about the first and improve on it. I could watch probably 5 seasons of New Game, but like with Season 1, I feel completed enough that I'm fine with this if this is all we'll ever get. This isn't Interviews with Monster Girls. It isn't. This was easily my favorite new show of the season. What happens when you have a school with 4 class rankings ranging down from A down to D? Your goal is to make it to Class A. Anything and everything can be bought with points that you earn as a class, but given to each individual. You have the smartest of the smartest and the laziest of the lazy all within this school. Backstabbing, betrayal, and a man who is the best at the best, but seemingly stays in the background as to not get involved unless forced. This has everything I really enjoy about smart main characters in an interesting location, and it set itself apart from other school anime. I would love to see this get a full adaptation, but we know that probably won't happen, but I still love what we have seen so far. You'd think with a name like Gamers this would be about a gaming club, but really it's about a group of characters misunderstanding one another for 12 weeks on end, and it's honestly quite humorous and enjoyable because of that. It only needs 12 episodes anymore and I'd be burnt out, but for 12 weeks I was laughing at the absurdity on screen and loving each and every one of these characters. With brilliant animation, character designs, and a perfect OST, this was one of the best shows of the season for me, and easily the funniest. The show that hooked the anime community, and if you weren't talking about it, you were the devil. This is a really good anime overall, though it wasn't my favorite. Personally, the characters didn't do much for me, but the world the characters live in was fantastic. I really would have loved if this anime took the same approach that Angel's Egg did, but nonetheless, this was a breathtaking anime for the locations and what the world offered overall, with fantastic world building. Everyone probably has already watched it, but if not, you should watch it without a doubt. Now sadly, not a lot of people seem to be watching this, which is weird. So many love Arslan Senki, yet this isn't getting nearly the same attention, when it's far superior, I find. A great new location that rarely is seen in anime set in Turkey, no weird anime moments, just ancient Turkey with interesting politics and very intriguing action when present. If you enjoyed Arslan Senki, please give this a watch. It's bloody fantastic, and I'm always interested in seeing what will happen next each week. The Fate series is a mixed bag, some anime being amazing, some good, and some outright bad. This falls right down the middle, as being a pretty good anime overall. The largest Holy Grail war ever seen within the animation form to date, with some amazing characters and some bad modern anime cliches, it wraps itself up at the halfway point as being solid overall. Any fan of Fate Stay Night or even Fate Zero should find something to enjoy here. Not perfect, but far from the worst in the Fate series by far. This is fantastic. The Monogatari series is one that doesn't air in chronological order and probably never will end, with the light novel still ongoing and Shaft wanting to animate it all. This is, however, the conclusion to the main character's adolescence and his high school life, but it leaves it open for the next chapter, which is in the current monster season it is based on. This is brilliant, but watch my review because I can't condense this brilliance into just a small paragraph. Being an anime original concept, recreators felt well planned and executed overall. The second half was far better than the first to me, even with some missteps here or there. The ending was fantastic and the formula for the show could work in other iterations similar to the Fate series. Any fan of action or fantasy needs to pick this show up and experience what if anime characters were brought into our world and the fate of all life was hanging on a thread. This is a very rare anime. One where everything was planned from the beginning, where nothing gets introduced in last week's episodes to overcome next week's obstacle, but rather where everything was carefully placed and planned from the beginning, so that by the time the twists and turns come, everything comes full circle and blows you away. Not only is this one of my favorite shows from the past 2 seasons, it's one of my favorites overall. This ends, this is brilliant, and damn if it isn't underrated. It's a slow burn, it won't be for everyone, but give this a shot if nothing else. I really don't have anything to say. Not PA Works' best anime and far from their worst. It had its moments, but it's fairly forgettable, but I wouldn't call it bad either. Looking forward to whatever their next project will be. If there's an overlooked anime, this might be it. A very simple yet hilarious anime following a very idiotic girl for a main character, and the simple yet fun comedy that surrounds her. Short episodes that were all fairly enjoyable and I had a lot of fun with it. A pretty charming show that has multiple perspectives and follows a group of characters in different stages within their lives. Some episodes being outright hilarious to others being very sweet and charming. This seems to be popular among quite a few anime fans, but still might have been overlooked by many, myself included, for quite some time. Just try a few episodes. They are half length, only running around 12 minutes on average, and you might find something special here, like I did. This anime is as cool as can be. Each episode has a different director that allows for each episode to feel like its own anime. It's artistic, it's unique, and I don't know really how to explain it past that. It's one of a kind, and you should try it. Oh baby, this was a fantastic series. Also one of my new favorites, such as Sakuraga Reset. There is so much to love. Great character writing, middle finger to the cliche, a large cast of morally great characters, not this black and white Disney style that we're all used to, and it feels human. Those who acted like the people on Tumblr who get upset that their romance pairing didn't happen to their liking aren't worth a single thought. But what is the writing. Nothing feels pulled out of their ass, but rather written in a way that feels believable, and even more so if you've seen season 1 and what happened to humanity then. I love this show, and each week I loved analyzing the newest episodes, and there won't be a show like this for quite a while that will top this for me. Summer was a great season for many. I followed less weekly than I normally did, and when the season was close to ending, I binged quite a few hidden gems. There is something here for most anime fans, and I leave the season with a smile on my face and eager to see what the fall season will bring us. But let me know what you love from the summer season down in the comment section below. And before you leave, please be sure to like the video to show your support, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And if you want to help even more while receiving some awesome perks like early access on select videos or even your name in the credits, then head on over to my Patreon. So until next time everyone, please take care, and you all have a good one.